also a way of life. It is anybody who bucks the status quo. The intention of the Quiet Rebel, the business, is to incrementally and organically shift the status quo using conversations as instruments for change. And so today we have had a silent retreat. It's the first of several. And this day was designed to give people an opportunity to have those much needed conversations with themselves and to shut out the noise around them and to check in with themselves.
So much better than I expected. I knew we'd have a day of silence. So I came prepared with journals, old and new, things to write with, things to color with, draw. And my mind got really quiet. My mind got quiet and clear of all the distractions that were there. And I found a comfy chair and just started to read and to write. And the quieter I became, the more opened up for me. I've been trying to write a list of desires, and I don't know if I fell asleep at some point, but I had a vision, and it was who I think of as my higher self. She came to me and she led me through the forest to a group, and I realized that she was leading me to what's next. Yeah, she was actually leading me to a path of growth that I had seen, and I had been resisting I've been resisting it for years. In fact, a friend of mine said to me, she was telling me a story, and someone said to her, "I'm just not ready yet." And it hit me that I'm ready now. That's what my vision was about.
I also took advantage of some silent moments, and I did some reading and some writing, but also I was caretaking. So as the host, I wanted to be sure that everybody was taken care of, that they had all the things that they needed, that they were in the places that they needed to be. For instance, lunchtime, there's a lot of space here, 5 acres of open space, and so when it's time to eat, people might want to know that, and since we're not talking, that meant I had to walk around to find people to tell them it was time to eat. And also we had a chair massage therapist on site, and so when it was time for their scheduled massage appointments, we also had to go find them to let them know about that. So I did a lot of caretaking today.
Today I spent the day in silence, which entailed reading, writing, and taking lots of naps. I spent the majority of that time outside because I wanted to be amongst the elements, which I don't get a chance to do very often. And more importantly, I wanted to be kissed by the sun. My biggest takeaway from the day is I needed the time to sort of dump from my brain and write out a lot of things that I'd been holding in. So once I got it on paper, then I was able to go back and kind of review some of those things and begin organizing my thoughts and begin building an action plan. And I did all that in the midst of 2 or 3 or maybe 4 naps that I took, where I did not have what I would call outside noise from other people. And so although I heard nature and I heard traffic, I heard water flowing from the fountains, it was not noise from people. And so I was able to kind of bond with everything else around me and find a place of serenity.
So one of the things that is part of my brand is Feed the Happy. So there's always going to be food. Not that feeding the happy always involves food, but food is a thing and it's important and we have to eat. Also, meals are one of our most cherished shared experiences. And so anytime we gather people together and you feed them, it already makes it easier to be in the same space. So our first meal together was a shared meal, and it was verbal because there's logistics involved. We have to talk, we have to tell people where things are, how to get to places, and all of that thing. And then I was intentional about having 7 sustained hours of silence. So that is why we did not talk during lunch. I wanted to honor the silence that was in place and not interrupt it by talking over lunch. And then the final meal was another shared meal experience where we could talk so that people have a chance to process what has happened throughout their day and to share how this day impacted them.
So I am an introvert. I would characterize myself as an outgoing introvert in that I also love people. Mm-hmm. However, I feel recharged by doing things by myself. So sometimes when I'm in a group setting, I feel like I have to be on all the time. And so it's fun, but it's also uses a lot of energy. And so for me, but I like people and I want to be around them. So today was a perfect combination of those things. So I got to be around people and have little bits of time with them at the beginning and at the end. And then just to kind of have that solidarity, like we're doing this together, was neat. Mm-hmm. And then also to have the freedom and the peace to do my own thing, but next to people. That was nice. I came and I like to explore, so I walked around as much of the property as I could and just kind of investigated, took into account what all my options were. And from the nature, I do feel like I get clarity sometimes, and today, thankfully, that also happened. So I felt inspired after being in nature to then go ahead and listen, hear a message, and then I had it in my mind. So at that point, I loved doing art and journaling. So I brought all my art supplies, and I camped out the rest of the day, putting what I had just experienced in nature onto paper. As I was walking around in nature, for me, my last several years, I would say, have been characterized by some losses and then healing through those losses. And I've described that time as like a wilderness or a woods. So at one point I was standing inside the woods looking out into a really pretty clearing, and I felt like I heard come out of the woods. And so for me it was clear that okay, we're wrapping up that season and you're transitioning into a new one. So I went ahead and wanted to put that vision on paper with today's day so that I could really have something to refer back to if later I forget that I'm allowed to be out of the woods now. So this is the picture that I ended up doing.
Because each time you do something, hopefully you learn and you can grow. I took a lot of special attention small details for this event, like handwritten notes and that kind of thing, and those things are important to me. I hope that they will continue in the future. But I also want to do some structured and tailored events that are specific audience. For instance, in December, I'm planning to do a retreat for first-year teachers because burnout is a real thing, and by Christmas, a lot of first-year teachers are ready to quit. And I think if you have an opportunity to shut out all of the noise that's bombarding you in that first year of that particular career, that it gives you a chance to rebound and be ready to go back